There's nobody on here, dude. You're fine.
Yeah, no.
Hi, Uncle Keith. No, Uncle Keith. You the man. You the man, Uncle Keith. Where's Sophia? Nice.
Working upstairs.
Are you home? Or are you working? Oh, nice. So she's working upstairs and you're working downstairs. That makes sense. That's good. Oh, very nice. Telemedicine at its finest. Good job. Hey, Marked Ministry. I have a question for you guys. What do you think? What do you think of the Christian author, and what do you think of the lead singer of Hawk Nelson? What do you guys think? Dot 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 means that you're still gonna type, right? Okay, cool.
Patient awaits. Go save lives, Keith.
Go save lives, Uncle Keith. Let's move this closer so you can see the comments.
I know. I have trouble seeing
There you
from
go.
far away. My eyes are... Alright, baby is almost asleep.
Okay, I'm gonna read what you wrote, Marked Ministry, because I just realized once we upload these things, people can't see comments. So I asked Marked Ministry what they thought of people walking away from their faith. Because there was a lead singer who walked away from their faith, as well as a Christian author who walked away from their faith. So Marked Ministry wrote, I think it's a sad situation when we hear stories like this, but I do understand that people have pain that is probably unresolved. I think pain is always under the surface and needs to be processed with safe people and with God. Absolutely agreed. I think if anything, it's heartbreaking. I think for us, what brings us the greatest joy as Christians is people learning good news, right? So that's the Great Commission. It's the reason why we travel. It's the reason why we love meeting people. It's the reason why we love talking story. So the converse of that is when people fall away from their faith. So I think it's one thing where if somebody doesn't know Jesus and they never grew up with that, they never grew up going to church, or they never grew up around people, it's sad. But you can kind of see why. But if there's somebody who's gone to church, if there's somebody who has had faith, somebody that's been in ministries, have traveled the world, has people, was married, and then falls away from that faith, that can be incredibly painful. We know plenty of married couples where one spouse has faith, and their faith is strong. And then unfortunately, their other spouse is struggling, and it breaks up marriages, and it's tough. It's really tough. So I'm glad you brought that up. In my men's ministry, we've actually talked about this several mornings where we're not sure. They say, well, what do you do? Do you go to church by yourself, or do you support your spouse? Like, what's more important, right? So in our relationship, and anything we say moving forward, whether it's biblical or not, please take it with a grain of salt, because it's just what has worked for us. So in our relationship, we do everything together. If one of us was going to church and the other one wasn't going to church, then we would do everything in our power to do the other thing with the other person. Unfortunately, that means if the one person isn't going to church, then we stick by them in hopes that we come to church. We've seen plenty of relationships that have been divided because of that, where one person goes to church and the other person doesn't go to church, and then there's resentment, there's all these underlining feelings, and it's sad. You don't want to leave behind your spouse. You don't want to leave behind somebody that you care about. So our hearts go out to those people, definitely, that are going through that.
Yeah. We believe one of the greatest ministries you have as a married person is right here. So before you can go minister to others, you have to be able to minister to your spouse and your family. And that's not always easy, but that's what we believe. And for those people who are in that situation, their spouse isn't, along the same path as you, stay strong. It's really hard, but that doesn't mean your faith has to waver. I mean, it definitely could, but bring along strong people beside you who can support you and pray for you and be there for you. And you can still have church in your home with your kids. You don't necessarily have to. Look at the pandemic right now. Everyone's having church at their home. But
I think they said that the greatest ministry that you can have is your family. So we know that a million ministries exist. We started Broken Waves as a surf ministry because we thought it'd be really cool to bring people to surf and bring people to Jesus and talk story out in the water. We thought it was the coolest thing. The greatest ministry is your family. The greatest ministry is your marriage, your children, the way you treat your family. So for people struggling and still going to church and having that divide between your church family and your ministry, and then back at home, there isn't a choice there, man. Like, you go to your family, you take care of what you have to take care of at home first and foremost, because that ministry reflects everything that you do. That's God's glory right there. So again, our hearts are pretty torn on this one. It's just sad news, sad news indeed.
yeah.
Anybody else? If there's other people in here. Yeah, we don't know how IGTV works. We just figure we turn it on.
We are learning as we go.
We are learning as we go. Yes, we're not good at technology.
Yeah, we were talking on the beach earlier. Prayer is huge. So Satan is always working. And even if people are doing everything right, going to church, reading their Bible, working in their relationship with God, just like in Ephesians, I think it says, don't give Satan a foothold. If you give Satan a foothold, he can work disasters in your life and pain. He can make everything seem like, God's against you or the world's against you, whatever the case may be, and it can definitely be hard on your faith. So prayer is very powerful.
Prayer is very powerful. And you said even the strongest fall, like Judas.
Yeah.
Judas was Jesus's best friend. He was that person. And he fell. Where we've been hurt in friendships, and I'm sure people have said before, I can't believe so-and-so did that. Imagine, being a son of God and being betrayed like that.
Yeah.
Any small foothold. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Oh, question. Okay. What are the things that you find help your marriage remain close and connected with God?
Hi, Angel. Okay.
Surf. Definitely surf helps our marriage remain close.
Oh my
No, not. Okay, shoot. Hold on.
Surf. Surf helps everything.
Yeah, surf helps everything. Sorry. No, sorry. I think it's our shared faith. We have shared faith. We met in college. We met in college swimming. We went to a small Christian school, which refined both of our faiths. We're equally yoked. We believe in the same things, so it makes our marriage easy. I know it's cliche when people say marriages are hard and it takes work, and they tell you all these things, but please don't take our advice. Our marriage is easy. I don't want to say it doesn't need work, but I'm very blessed that our marriage is easy. I really can't offer any advice. And the reason why our marriage is so easy is because we have faith. Everything comes from that. Everything flows from faith. So for us, since we believe in Jesus and we believe in the Great Commission, everything else seems trivial, whether it's, shopping or getting ahead or advancing your career or whatever it is. It doesn't matter to us. Even this whole social media thing. I don't know what we're doing, to be quite honest. I actually prayed about this a couple days ago. And that's why you guys have seen an influx of us going on our account lately, because we felt as though God was speaking to us to use this platform, because people have come forward to us and said, hey, can we do an IG live with you guys? Can we talk story? Can we share our testimony? I really want to share that. It seems like it's helping people. Yeah, absolutely. Jump in, we can talk story. We can talk story for 5 minutes, 30 minutes, doesn't matter. And then from there we could post it. We could post it on whatever, IG, YouTube, whatever it is. And somebody finds help. Somebody says, hey, that person dropped in the other day and said something I needed to hear. That's what we heard the first time when we did the last one on marriage. Somebody messaged us immediately and said, hey, we needed to hear that. We needed to hear that encouragement about marriage and relationships. So for us, even though, again, we're blessed, we don't have hardships like most people, but we understand the blessings that we have, and it's only fitting that we share those blessings. So our marriage is a blessing. Our marriage is an absolute blessing.
Yeah.
And of course, we want to share that with people, and whatever advice that looks like. We want people to get there. We want people to live joyfully.
Yeah, amen. And exactly what Justin was saying. One of the things that I feel like keeps our relationship close and connected with God, besides definitely rooted and grounded in the Lord, is exactly what Justin mentioned earlier, doing everything together. Whether it be, I'm going to go to the pool and swim, and Justin didn't want to swim that day. We do everything together as much as possible, because every moment, everything that... The reason why we got married, everything was because we believe in what God has asked us to do. We are married because of God. We, invited him into our marriage. So it's why wouldn't we want to continue that cord of three can't be broken kind of thing. I know everybody does marriages differently, and some people need their alone time, but what works best for us is doing everything together, and definitely, I believe, helps in our relationship stay close to God.
Absolutely. And to get back to, people losing their faith, I know there's different ways to talk about bringing somebody back. You could be critical and say, oh, you're going to hell. You're going to hell because you don't believe in Jesus. Or you can say supportive things like, I'm going to pray for you and we hope you're okay. I think the biggest thing is your demonstration of faith. So if that person, at least for me, if somebody doesn't believe in God, I'm not going to go to that person and make them believe in God. I'm not going to go and push my feelings and beliefs on them. It's too abrasive. It's not going to work. What I am going to do is I'm going to live my life with faith and joy. and somebody's going to get curious to see why our life is so joy-filled. They're going to say, well, why are you guys so carefree? Why do you guys smile all the time? Why do you do all these things? And if they truly want to know, then we say we're blessed. We have Jesus. And that's the most important thing to us. So I hope that they come back. I hope that when people fall away from the church, and like whatever reason they fall away, whether it's because they've been hurt from a leader, or whether it's because their definition of church didn't line up with what they thought church was, because we see that all the time. We see people church shopping, and they go and they get hurt because there's people in the church that hurt them, and they say, okay, well, you know, if those people are the people at that church, then I don't want to be Christian. Well, I think you're looking at it wrong. If you have to rely on a building and people to have that relationship with God, then you're truly missing the point. It'd be the same thing where if I had to rely on Leah's friends and the house or the building that Leah lived in order to have a relationship with Leah, it wouldn't work. It absolutely wouldn't work. I love my wife because I love my wife. So if you love God, you should love God. You shouldn't love God because of the people around God, people in relationship with God. It doesn't work that way. You should love somebody because you love them, period, regardless of what's going on.
Amen, baby.
Amen.
Hi, Harold.
Hey, Pura Vida. Cool. Okay, so we do a really bad job of these things going extremely over, so we're going to cut this one short. Placing the experience over the relationship. AKA Clothing Maui, our cousins, they are incredible. I need to link them, you guys. Like, they're just doing incredible things.
We need to learn
Maui.
how to link.
I know. I need to learn how to do a lot of things.
You know.
Which brings us to our next thing, actually. We're going to upload videos to YouTube. So if you guys can pray for us, that we actually know what we're doing, because we really don't know what we're doing. Like, my phone's broken. My phone does not work at all. And we hope that we can place testimonials on YouTube so other people can watch testimonials about marriage, drug abuse, broken families. There's so many conversations. There's so many things to discuss, and people want to know that. And we know this. When we go on YouTube, when we go on social media, what do? We scroll through our phones to see things that catch our attention. Yes, there is a sleeping baby. Auntie Tati, you're absolutely correct. Yes, the baby catches everybody's attention. Anyway, that's what we're going to do. So if you could pray for that, if you could pray for the next couple IG lives where we have people coming in, they're going to share their testimony. Pray that God works through them, the Holy Spirit works through them. Pray that this works. Pray that this reaches somebody, one person, because there isn't any ulterior motive here. We're just trying to talk story, and we're trying to connect with you guys because, you know, we're very blessed that you guys message us, and I have done a really bad job of getting back to everybody, so I apologize. I finally just picked up my phone. So moving forward, I think this is the easiest way just to address everybody instead of just messaging people back one by one. We're just going to hop on a live. I'm going to do stories. I'm going to talk to you guys, and we're just going to answer any questions that you guys have. Again, we're not biblical at all. We're not scholars. We're just two very humble people living God's life. Having a baby is a serious test for your marriage. Auntie Tati, you are absolutely correct. This test right now is okay because our test is sleeping, so we're totally fine.
Our test is sleeping.
So we're okay there. Yes.
We did you pass the test? I hope we are passing the test.
No, I am failing this test miserably. I just, babies are like another language. I'm very blessed that my baby sleeps a lot, because if she didn't, oh man. Oh, well, come on, dude. Are you kidding me?
Oh my gosh.
Auntie
you
Tati
guys aced it.
Yeah.
Flying colors.
No. Because Jared, pampers that baby. It's crazy. You guys.
Your bath times look like queens.
Yeah, we just hose them down. Mark Ministry, thank you so much for chatting and connecting. We're going to catch you guys on your live. Mark Ministry, you guys go live on Mondays, right? We want to make sure that we tell everybody to come join you guys too. So
this is true.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Yes. And if you are one of those people struggling today, then, let us know what we can do to pray for you. God is not done working in your life yet. There is so many amazing things yet to come for you. Let us know. We're here to pray for you and support you. So don't give up hope.
Yes, don't give up hope. Thanks everybody for tuning into this really late last minute IG Live. We're going to do another one on Friday. 2 days from now, we're going to do one with the co-owner of H&L Fit. She's a collegiate runner, elite runner. Her name is Hill Hayes. You've probably seen her on some of our stuff before. Auntie Hill is going to come talk story about what running looks like and what a running community looks like and the passion that she has for that. Yes, this was fun, Auntie Tati. Auntie Tati, we need to get you guys on here too. So
I think that's Jared.
Oh,
I think
Uncle Jared? Okay,
Jared.
Uncle Jared. So Uncle Jared, Auntie Tati, whoever it is, we're going to get you guys on here next. So for starters,
You guys are coming on.
yes. But for now, Friday at, I think, 4 o'clock. So this Friday, 4 o'clock, Hill Hayes, co-owner, H&L Fit. Please tune in. Aloha, you guys. Thank you for tuning in.
Aloha, mahalo.
Aloha, mahalo.